friends, a fun beauty video for you today. I'm not entirely sure yet what I'm going to title it, but by the time you're watching this video, I'll have figured it out. So the other day I was cleaning out my makeup collection and I noticed that I tend to buy multiple shades of a product when I really like the formula. If you are a returning viewer, I want to say thank you so much for coming back. And if you are a new viewer, hi, I'm Katie. I'm 38 years old and I love to talk about beauty and candles. So if you decide that you'd like to stick around and see more of my content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And let's not waste any more time. Let's get into this video. Why don't we go ahead and just talk about my favorite beauty product, and that would be eyeshadow palettes. Now you might think, we always hear about Natasha Denona, we hear about Tarte, we hear about Too Faced, we hear about kind of like some of the OGs that have been around or that a lot of influencers talk about. And it kind of surprised me when I looked at my collection. I realized the brand that I own the most eyeshadow palettes from, or just eyeshadow in general, is from an indie brand, and that would be Sydney Grace. Now, I think part of the appeal of this is that I do like supporting a small business, and I think it's become known over the last year, at least I've seen the trend on Instagram and YouTube. Indie brands really seem to have nailed the eyeshadow game. So I'm gonna go ahead and share with you the palettes that I own. I'm not gonna go into depth with swatches. I do have some B-roll that I can show you of just the palettes that I do own, so that way you can kind of get an idea of all of the color stories in natural lighting. I'm going to go ahead and start with the palette that I am wearing on my eyes today. This is Coffee Talk. So it looks like this. Cardboard packaging, I think. All of them come with a mirror. I'm going to try not to blind you guys because I do have a ring light on here. But this is a very beautiful neutral toned palette. I am wearing it on my eyes today, like I said, and I really like this one. I feel like if Natasha Denona Glam is out of your budget, this is a great alternative. Now, I want to say that these palettes retail for around $35. I will have that information and these linked in the description box down below. So if you're curious to know where you can purchase them or what the exact prices are, I will have that information listed for you below. Another palette that they came out with in July when they had their Christmas in July sale, they had previously offered these shadows as singles in a bundle, but now they have offered it in a palette, and this is their Mountain Trail. So if you like earthy greens, oh, these are beautiful. This is going to be the palette for you. Their shimmer formula is one that I feel like is unrivaled. Maybe Natasha Denona might be up there, but even then, I would say that the Sydney Grace and Persona shimmer formulas have been the most beautiful on my eyes personally. Now, keep in mind, I am in my late 30s. That's really weird for me to say sometimes. Like, I was teaching ballet last night and I was like, I'm almost 40 years old. And I was like, ha! Like when that came out of my mouth, nothing wrong with that. I believe it's better than the alternative, which is a dirt nap. So, you know. Anyways, another palette that I picked up from them, and honestly, I haven't given very much usage to. I am looking forward to using this a little bit more in the springtime, maybe late winter, and that is their California Coast palette. Now, if you are new to my channel, you may not know that I actually grew up in Southern California. I don't live there anymore. I've called Arizona home for the last 15 years. But this had a little bit of nostalgia to me because I did grow up over there. And this is like a beautiful neutral pink type of palette. So if you tend to gravitate towards those colors, this would be a beautiful one to pick up. Again, you have a perfectly balanced story here of mattes and shimmers. This one I think would look particularly beautiful on blue or green eyes. Those kind of pinky nude colors look beautiful with those colors, with those color eyes. You guys will notice sometimes I get so excited about talking that I kind of stumble over my words a little bit, and I'm trying not to say or like a lot. So if you notice that my speech doesn't always flow the best, it's because like my mind is going faster than the words are trying to come out of my mouth. Oh well, it just happens. All right, another new palette that I picked up, and again, this was during their Christmas in July sale. They should be having a similar sale running, I would say probably later this week for Black Friday. So make sure that you are following them on Instagram because I tend to notice that that's where they advertise a lot of their sales and promotions. Usually it's around 25% off. This is not sponsored or anything. I'm just letting you guys know. I like to get a great deal, and I pretty much only buy makeup when it's on sale. So this is the Where the Wild Things Grow palette. And this one was actually thrown in as a freebie, and I actually really, really like it. Now I have somehow, oh, that's a shame. I've shattered one of the shades here, so I'm gonna have to be careful holding this up. But this is a beautiful, it's got some beautiful jewel tones in it. This shade right here, this Primrose mixed with Sunflower, and then I used it with the Buttercup, which is broken here, and Blazing Star and Bee Balm. This has produced one of the most beautiful jewel toned fall looks that I have really, really loved wearing. I will go ahead and pop up a picture. In fact, I think I actually did a whole video using this palette. Did I? I think I did. If I did, I'll have it linked in the cards up above for you here. But that has been a surprisingly beautiful palette, and it's one that I look at and think, there's a lot of color in there. You know, I'm like a lot of you, and I like color here and there. I will actually probably be the most adventurous with color on my eyes. I tend to not be as risk-taking with my blush or lipstick, but I actually surprisingly have really enjoyed that palette. Another one, if you prefer warm bronzy tones, this is their Summer Days palette. And again, one of the things that you will notice is that I like these little 9-pan formulas because I feel like it gives you a color story without you feeling completely overwhelmed, especially if you are newer to makeup, or to be honest, I'm not new to makeup. I've been putting makeup on for almost 30 years now. And I really like a kind of curated, narrow it down color story for me, because otherwise I just start to feel overwhelmed. And so I like those 9-pan formulas. Another palette that I love, and again, this is a very colorful color story. It tends to come in and out of stock. This was the palette that the late Mel Thompson put together with Sydney Grace, and it is called Tiny Marbles. Now it has all of these colorful little bugs on the front, which I'm not really an insect fan, but I feel like she chose some good ones here. Well, ants. No, I hate ants. But the color story is very beautiful. And you will see here, you look at this and you think, oh my goodness, this is too colorful. No, you guys, I have come up with some beautiful neutral looks with this palette. So in addition to the palettes, I also own quite a few singles. Now I have picked up these, they do sell these palettes that you can like fill up your own singles in. And I think they fit 12 single shadows in each one. So this one, I have used a lot of like blues and greens. I tend to sort them together. I also like that it's just like a magnetic one. I'm not going to pull them out right now because I don't want to get eyeshadow all over my fingers, but you can rearrange them. And then I also have a bunch of singles and another one. These are kind of more of my purples, mauves. My eyeshadow, or not my eyeshadow, my eye color is a hazel brown. So sometimes those purples or coppers tend to really pull out the green in my eyes, and I really like them. Looking at my blushes, I was a little bit surprised with what brand I own the most from, and that would be the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. Now, I currently have 4 of them in my collection. I do like that they are a long-lasting matte powder blush, which is something that I really need, well, all year round, to be honest with you, because my skin is normal to oily, and the first product that my skin just eats up is blush. So I typically like to use these on their own, but they can also be used to accentuate a liquid blush or a cream blush. Ugh, spit it out here, Katie. I'm going to go ahead and insert some footage here of swatches I took earlier of the shades that I own. Bottom to top, I have Charmed, Exposed, Party, and Risque. Now you will notice that most of the shades that I own are kind of in that nude category, which, to be honest with you, like I said earlier, I'm not really one to take many chances on my blush color. I will tell you that I do tend to like bolder pops, maybe for the holiday season or around the spring and summertime, but just my neutral everyday go-to. I don't have to worry about how the blush is going to turn out. I typically go for more nude neutral shades. Today I am wearing the shade Risque. This has been kind of one of my go-to ones lately. I'm not sure how well it is showing up on camera because of the lighting and whatnot, but this is the most perfect shade. It's almost like a bronzer type of shade. It's not bronzer. I wouldn't say that it's bronzer, definitely not. But if you are looking for a shade that will pretty much go with any eye look, any lip look, I would say Risque would probably be the one to go for. If you are fairer and lean towards cooler tones, then Party will probably be your shade of choice. These are great right now because I picked up some of these smaller ones. So I have them in like the full size ones. I have Party and I don't know how to pronounce that, you guys, and Risque in these full size. And then I have these little ones in Charmed and Exposed. Now, I'm not sure if Tarte has them listed on their website this year or if I have seen any gift sets, but those were part of a gift set from last holiday season. So if you happen to run across those on the Tarte website or any retailers like Ulta, Sephora, any other brand or retailers that would carry the brand, that was a great pickup because I think I got like 5 of them in a set for maybe, actually I bought them on clearance afterwards. So it was like $20 for 5 of them. Great way to try them out, maybe gift them to some friends or family. Also, because it's a powder formula, they last a really long time. I do own a bunch of liquid blushes. Well, I own less liquid blushes, but I do own quite a few Rare Beauty liquid blushes, but I figured just for this video, this would probably be a safer bet to talk about because I think a lot more people are more comfortable with powder blushes. I know that liquid and creams are starting to come on the scene. Well, they've been on the scene, but like for those of you who are not makeup enthusiasts, you're probably still more familiar with and comfortable with powder blushes. So that's why I am talking about these. If you have watched any of my Get Ready With Me's, this next product that I'm talking about will not surprise you one bit. And I know that this is kind of a quote unquote influencer brand. I don't even really think of it that way because I don't know, the owner of this company just seems like one of the nicest people on the planet. But I am, of course, talking about BK Beauty brushes. Now, I'm going to show a couple of the face brushes that I have here. I will insert some B-roll here of all of the BK Beauty brushes that I have purchased. Now, I am not going to lie. These are, I would say, mid-range price point. They're not the most expensive brushes on the market, but they're also not the most inexpensive. I feel like they are great investment piece brushes. Now, quite frankly, like an investment makes you money. Brushes don't make you money, but they will definitely affect the quality of your makeup look. So if you use good brushes, sorry, I have a hair in my mouth here. If you have good brushes, then you tend to not have as many issues when you are applying your makeup, and then your look that you're going for may be more likely to turn out well. So the products that I really want to highlight with the BK Beauty brushes are the 108 brush. I really like this for under eye setting powder. You can also use it for highlight if you'd like to. The what is this? The A506, the Angie Hot and Flashy brush. This is like the kitten paw one. I feel like this one is probably semi-viral. This is great for blending out your concealer. In terms of, oh, one more face brush that I like. I love the 106, as I was just talking about how liquid blush can be a little bit intimidating. This is the best brush for applying liquid or cream blushes. It just does it in such an accurate and precise manner and just gives a beautiful blend. Now, their eyeshadow brushes, I think, are where it is really, really at. I love the 201. If you have more, I don't want to say smaller eyes, but if your eyes are more almond shaped, or maybe if you don't have as much real estate as I do, I have narrow, deep set eyes. I've got a lot of real estate to work with between my crease and my brow bone. So I always need to bring my transition shade up a little bit higher. And I love this 201 brush for doing that because it just deposits my eyeshadow exactly where I want it to be. I also love the 202 brush for getting into that crease and really building up my crease color. This one I feel like doesn't always get mentioned as much, but this is their 207 brush. It's just this tiny, little one, and I probably own the most of this one because this is perfect for doing your outer V work. You can also smudge underneath your lash line with it. You could also use it to put inner corner. It's just a very multi-purpose type of eye brush. Highly, highly recommend these brushes. They are a small American business. They are based out of Texas. They will more than likely be having a Black Friday sale. So again, make sure you're following them on Instagram or check out their website. I will have them linked down below. But these are my favorite makeup brushes. I tend to pick them up every time they go on sale. I add a few more to my collection. When it comes to eyeliner, I go back to some OGs, and that would be the Urban Decay 24/7 waterproof eyeliners. I've gone ahead and swatched them out for you. So the shades that I have them are in Zero, Sabbath, Rockstar, Smog, and Double Life. Now, these are not, again, new to the market. They've been around for a long time. They seem to continue to sell very well. These typically go on sale during one of the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, usually in the fall or the spring. I have also seen them go 50% off in the month of December. I know that in the last 2 years, Ulta has run some kind of, they won't call it Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. I want to say it was called like Countdown to Christmas or something like that, where they run some 50% off one day only specials. So you might want to keep your eye out if you are interested in picking these up. They do last all day. They are easy to smudge out. Now, the shades Rockstar, what was it? It wasn't Sabbath. Sabbath and Zero are like matte finishes, but they also have quite a few like Rockstar. What were the other ones that I have? Double Life and Smog. Those ones have a little bit of shimmer to them, which I tend to prefer when I use on my lower lash line. I like a little bit of shimmer to just make it not seem so harsh. But these come in so many shades. I mean, if you want bright blue, you could get that bright green. I want to say probably have close to maybe 40 shades. Don't quote me on that, but there's a lot to choose from. So I would highly recommend keeping your eye out for these. Now, you do have to use a pencil sharpener. They are not self-sharpening, but I mean, sharpen it. It's not that hard. These are great products that I have had in my collection for a long time. You can see that mine, they're like, some of them are getting down to little nubs here, but these are great products and I would highly recommend them. The product that was actually the impetus for this video is the L'Oreal Brilliant Signature Shiny Lip Stains. Yes, a drugstore product. I do have some drugstore products in my collection. I don't have anything against them. It just tends to be that I like to splurge a little bit more on mid-range, high-end products. But these are my favorite lipstick formula. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll some swatch video for you here. The shades that I own are Be Captivating, Be Determined, Be Independent, Be Uncontrollable, Be Courageous, and Be Brilliant. Now today I am wearing the shade Be Uncontrollable on my lips. I don't have a gloss on. This is just the formula by itself. Now you will see, just like a lot of my blush shades, quite a few of these are in that neutral category because if you know anything about me, my signature look is a little bit bolder eye with a nude lip. That's just how I like to roll. But I have picked this up in a couple of quote unquote, well, bold for me shades. So obviously the top shade that you saw was Be Brilliant. It is kind of a tomato warm red. Now it looks slightly pink in the tube here, which kind of concerned me, but when I swatch it, it's definitely a red. This would be a beautiful shade to wear during the holiday season, or quite frankly, if you love to rock a red lip, I would highly recommend this. One of the things that I like about this formula is that it is a liquid lipstick, but it is not drying and it gives not a matte finish. Now, again, like I said, at my age, I do have full lips. My lips do not have any filler in them. These are the lips that I was born with, but they do have lines in them. And so matte lipsticks, they're just not really for me. They don't flatter me, but I like these because there is a shine to them. However, they dry down so that way there's not any transfer really going on. They're comfortable. I don't feel like my lips are completely dried out. Clearly, I absolutely love these. And one of the great things about these being at the drugstore is that I was able to go and pick up 2 more shades the other day, and I got them for $6. I was at CVS and I had like extra bucks and a 30% off coupon, and I was really happy to walk out of there having spent very little money for a great quality product. Let me know, is there a product that you love the formula so much on that you have gone out and purchased multiples of? Share it with me because I'd like to know. You know the drill. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps me out. It actually really does. I'm a young YouTuber and I'm trying to get my content out there, and hitting that thumbs up button triggers the algorithm to say, hey, maybe you might want to watch this gal's videos. I want to say thank you so much for supporting my channel, and if you have time, YouTube should be suggesting a couple of other videos at the end of this one that you might enjoy. Until my next video, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye!